And this is me. Yep. Look at my hair. I'm all messed up. See, it's 8:33, and the date today is January 25th, 2019. And it's 8:33 Pacific time. All you people, 11:33 a.m. on the East Coast. Ah, sorry, but I look like this right now, and it's 8:33. Well, I work till midnight, and it's Friday. And once in a while, I'll get up. It's like if I wake up, I'll look at the time and say, "Oh, I'll just turn over and sleep a little bit while longer," and then I end up getting back up at the too late to not get up mark. So it's good because I work the second shift, the midnight shift. Get off at midnight. So Roger Stone, who's this Roger Stone guy? Is he the one that's going to break the camel's back or break the DC Swamp Doggy's back? This guy, he seems like a real hardcore person. He's only 66 years old compared to Hillary and Trump and them. They're pushing 72, maybe. I don't know. But this Roger Stone guy, the dude's got a tattoo of Nixon on his back. And he says that his only crime is engaging in politics. But why would he have a tattoo of Nixon on his back? That's not the story. That's kind of a trip to me. But the big story is, why did the FBI show up with guns ablazing? And nobody said that guns were drawn. They're really hyping it up, but an ex-NFL, he played for the Patriots. I believe he went to the Super Bowl a couple times. But he was on his morning jog, and he says that I don't see stuff like this except for on the movies. But why? The question is, why did the FBI have to go to his house the day after he was indicted for allegedly making misstatements concerning some collusion before the elections? Why would they go to his house instead of him turning himself in? This is one of those bombshells that you're supposed to give the 24-hour rule, 24, 48, 72-hour rule, where you don't get excited until a couple days later when the truth comes out, just like those Catholic kids from Kentucky, a Catholic school. I posted it because a family member of mine posted about it, and everything really did seem unjust. And a couple friends of mine posted. A lot of people were fooled, but I posted that it's media. What did I say? It's a mainstream news media production. Create a lie, broadcast a lie, mission accomplished. Well, 2 days later, it finally came out, and it was a big media production. So you got to give the 24-hour, 48-hour, 72-hour rule. But instead of me jumping to conclusions, I'm just going to go on record right now as saying, why did Roger Stone get arrested at his home instead of waiting for him to turn himself in? It is my contention, and something like this is like 50-50 whether it's going to come out. Speaking of 50-50, you got to read this article I put on here to know what that refers to. Something that Dan Bongino was quoted as saying after the arrest, because he says it's highly unusual, but it's happened before. So it's really nothing new. But my contention is that he probably told them, you're going to have to come and get me because I'm not going to walk out of my house. If I'm going to turn myself in, I want to be guaranteed that I will remain alive from point A to point B. So my contention is that Roger Stone told them to come and get him simply for protection. And that's it. Why would he need protection? Well, he's got a tattoo of Richard Nixon on his back. Maybe Hillary Clinton wants him to have a tattoo of her on his chest. Serious. Anyways, that's another one of my contentions. Hillary Clinton wants Roger Stone to have a tattoo of her on his chest if he's going to have a tattoo of Richard Milhouse Nixon on his back. All kinds of stuff going on. Gosh, you folks never know what's going to come out of the Michael Tobin show, do you? And for you watching me right now on this YouTube, you're lucky because this is me when I wake up. All kinds of stuff going on. Just let me read it. Since I got you on here, I'm going to read a few headlines. Defiant Roger Stone vows to never testify against Trump. Where is the crime? I engaged in politics, he says. But that's pretty neat. He vows to never testify against Trump. You know, there's only one person who vowed not to testify against Richard Milhouse Nixon. And the reason why I say that is because this Roger Stone famously has a tattoo of Nixon on his back. So the one person who said he would not testify against Nixon and ended up doing a couple years prison time is the founder of Prison Fellowship, Charles or Chuck Colson. And I was an active member of Prison Fellowship for 7 years, from the time about 1997 to 2003. And I've been to prisons and jails up in Oregon. That's where I was active at. And Charles Colson was still alive. And one of my regrets is never meeting him. It would have been nice to be at a seminar or something like that, but I never really did get a chance to meet him. And the same thing now. I've been a chaplain with the Billy Graham Rapid Response Team since 2003 also. And deployed to after Hurricane Katrina and before Hurricane Katrina and several hurricanes in the South. Florida, Texas, Louisiana, especially New Orleans and Shreveport, Louisiana. Shreveport is beautiful. Love Shreveport. But that's another one of my regrets is I never even got to see Billy Graham personally or meet him before he passed away. I actually lived in Oregon for 7 years, and when I came back up to San Diego in 2003, I remember it specifically. I'll never forget. I came 1 week after Billy Graham came to San Diego in May of 2003. And that would have been my chance to see Billy Graham personally, at least in an audience. But we don't always get to meet the people that we admire, and you don't really have to. But back to, I guess that I got sidetracked on that because of Chuck Colson passed away, even though I was active in Prison Fellowship when he was still alive and running the Prison Fellowship ministry. But he became a born-again Christian while in prison, and his whole life was changed. But he was the most loyal person on Richard Milhouse Nixon's cabinet. So, but this Roger Stone guy, I also posted, could this be the stone that breaks the swamp's back? But on here, on my YouTube, I wrote DC's back. So that's my first reaction. I'm not jumping to conclusions, but I believe that it would be a smart move for giving the list of so many people who seem to pass away. That are connected with a couple of particular things to do with Washington, D.C. in this current part of our 21st century. Has anything really changed since the 20th century? Not really. Cloak and daggers, a lot of cloaks and daggers. So that's mine. That's my take on this. So he needed protection. I would do the same thing. And the FBI is definitely a more friendly organization under the Trump administration as it has been in the past administration. So he needed protection. I think I would do the same thing. I'd say, hey, come and get me, because put a vest on me, because I don't want anything happening to me from point A to point B. And I'll see you in the hearings. So that's what Dan Bongino, his take. I haven't even listened to his podcast, but it's happened before, so it's really nothing new. And while I got you, let's check out some headlines. A sad and evil day. New York legalizes abortion up to baby's birthday on anniversary of, let's see, that's a headline. I haven't had a chance to read that one yet, but we all must have already heard about New York's new law. Sad day for the United States. And it is so evil that the governor of New York ordered the One Trade Center, the building's lights, to be in pink in celebration of this baby killing law. So what anniversary was this? Legalizes abortion. A sad and evil day. New York legalizes abortion up to baby's birth anniversary of Roe versus Wade. Sorry for not being all versed up in that right now, but there's so much I have to sign in and sign out for a day job when I really should be boots on the ground in California. I've got so many podcasts. Will California survive? Will God save California? And speaking of California, will Devin Nunes, a congressman in California, finally said words that nobody else has said yet, but everybody else knows, that before the elections, the 2016 elections, what is this organization called? Well, there is a dossier that was paid for by the Clinton team. He said this in the Mueller investigations, that they would gladly have a certain player come and testify, being that Clinton's team paid for a dossier on Donald Trump's son about a meeting with somebody that's supposed to have dirt on Hillary. And that's actually what this Roger Stone thing is about also. They keep on doing this. It's like they're going around the whole universe and seeing everything they can before they get into the center of the universe. And that's another contention of mine, is that if there's anybody on Donald Trump's side that they want to get out of office, no matter what no matter what the effort it takes, that they just want him gone. And if there's anybody on his team that can be charged and convicted of anything, they're going to get him, because they know that possibly even Hillary, but most likely Comey and Mueller and a few other individuals will get arrested, and they're the cherry on the cake. So what they want to do is they want to get anybody on Trump's side, if at all possible, before they get the main players in all of this, using the Department of Justice as a weapon to prevent Donald Trump from becoming president. And so they're trying to get all of the little players for anything before they get the big ones. And a lot of us are on a political roller coaster, up and down. Oh, they got her. Oh, they don't got her. Oh, they got her, or they got him, and they don't got him. And it's like a roller coaster. But that's also my contention, that they're trying to get the little guys before they get the big guys. And could be another 2 years. Who knows? It could be next week. But so that's the new law in New York. Very horrible thing. And about those kids, the Catholic kids, a friend of mine wrote, I love my friends. They come up with the best points to consider, as I'm always seeking talking points from our podcast. I'll use this for my friend Shalene Nightingale. She's a friend of mine. She ran for, she was the Libertarian candidate for governor in 2010, same year that the Tea Party was most active in their beginnings. And she has received more independent and support than any other previous candidate, the Libertarian candidate for governor in California. She received more support, historical support, and very good friend of mine. But she wrote, I agree with Mark Dice. The Covington High MAGA hat wearing teen story must stay in the forefront. And she has 4 points why. It confirms fake news media, anti-Trump, anti-conservative agenda via propaganda. Number 2, exposes the radical left's hatred, hypocrisy, and violence. And number 3, it shows the left only love children when they advance their agenda of destroying family values, faith, and America. Otherwise, they hate Christian, conservative, Caucasian children. And number 4, proves social media does indeed censor conservatives while allowing liberals to tweet, post death threats against conservatives without any consequences. And 5 more points here. Shows we are living in 1984 and the deep state will persecute for face crimes. What are face crimes? Well, maybe this face is a crime right now, huh? No, if you, in that book 1984, even for having a wrong smirk on your face or wrong expression on your face, you get detained, re-educated, or punished. Number 6 displays that years of radical anti-American and Christian anti-white brainwashing has indeed worked on a large portion of our society and created a group of irrational, mentally unstable, totally unhinged, violent, dangerous, hate-filled radicals. Number 7, The radicals are indeed pushing to end our First Amendment rights, which is why we liberty defenders must push back to keep both our First and Second Amendment rights to protect us from them. And everything that people are saying against Facebook and YouTube, we're still able to exercise our First Amendment rights until you go into YouTube or Facebook jail, of course, for doing so. But we could still do it until we're made not to. Okay. And about that New York law, my point is that they know how to attract God's judgment. And that is to appeal to the devil himself for ideas. The late Pastor David Wilkerson was 100% correct, and people scoffed at him. Whatever was behind the towers downing was nothing. Now there's this new abortion law for New York. You know, the Bible says one man's sins affected a whole nation at several points in the days of the kings in Israel. Let's see, what are some other headlines that I haven't even been focusing on in these past couple weeks? I could actually scroll down things. I could reduce a screen and scroll through notes while I'm going live. That's pretty cool. As I scroll. Oh, I watched this video, American Bread and Circus, Hidden Secrets of Money. I think I finally solved the mystery of why is it when you go into a grocery store to get a half a gallon of ice cream that it's like 1.67 gallons of ice cream or whatever. Well, evidently, the ancient Romans had this practice of getting their coin and clipping sections of the edge when their money devaluated. So if you got a $20 coin and they clip an edge of it, and they take 5% off of it, you're left with less than $20. So if they're going to take 20%, they're going to take $4 off of that $20 coin. They're going to clip it. So you're going to get, you have a $20 coin, but since part of it's clipped, you're actually going to get less for it. That was their way. So instead of doing that in the United States, you're going and purchasing the same product, but less of it for the same price. Isn't that interesting? So the United States is clipping coins. They're, quote, clipping coins by doing that, because we know that all the food and everything is all, there's a big old family tree, but corporations, they're all involved with the banks. So how can, it's pretty interesting statement that this guy made. See, what else? Ooh, let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works. That's Hebrews chapter 10, verses 24. In Syria and Turkey is going on right now. And that's quite a bit over getting rid of the petrodollar, oil, and pipelines. And okay, I'm going to go ahead and end this, but feel free to see my last podcast. This is just a little fun. You could see it on my YouTube. The Trump moon, you know, the blood red moon. Watch my last video. You'll see why I call it the Trump moon. The end. and Indians and Catholic boys and distractions. Check that video out. All right, this is live.